Trusting your soul's path when divine guidance meets spirituality. Today, we are going to talk to Erica, one of our founding healers inside of our Quantum Illumination Reiki Certification program. She was actually the first to sign up for our certification program, and I'm so excited to talk to her today about trusting your soul's path and also when divine guidance meets spirituality. She has a really powerful story that I think so many people don't talk about, but so many can relate to. And she is also a mom of babies, children, small children, a retired military wife now, and an empathic healer a healer for empathic moms. So when she hops on and requests to join, we will go ahead and bring her in. Erica and I have been working together off and on for, I don't know, maybe since like 2019. And her growth is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm so excited for her to share her story. We're just waiting for Erica to hop on. Hi, Erica. We're always testing the boundaries when we're doing things during Mercury retrograde. Hi. You. Oh my gosh, the curly hair, the weird eyes. I was like, wow, hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Very good.
Good. Mama on the go, it looks like.
Yes. Well, I set this up with you, and I swear I thought it was supposed to be at 11 my time,
Mm-hmm.
but it's 12 my time. And
Mm-hmm.
then fine. But I told my friend I would still meet her for our lunchtime walks, even though I don't work there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured I could be stationed and waiting so that if she comes out and we get finished up, then I can go on my walk.
Yeah, I love that. You know what? And I was just saying right as you were coming on, I was like, we're living on the wild side when we are planning things during Mercury retrograde, shadow period, all of it.
That is the truth.
Yeah, like all the techie things that have happened, and then I've missed like the time thing, and I'm like, yeah, so very Mercury.
All the way.
Yeah. So I was just sharing a little bit about you, but I want to put the mic in your hand. If you want to tell everyone a little bit about you, who you are, like as human, as healer, anything you're feeling called to share is amazing.
Well, I'm Erica. I have quite the I appreciate and love the chaos energy that I live in most days with my 3 boys and my bonus daughter. Right now, kind of Monday through Friday, dealing with all of the mom stuff while my husband is an on-road trucker. Super excited to be getting the opportunity to dive a little bit deeper into my healing self, what I have to offer, what I have to give, as I was able to take the opportunity to walk away from my job that started off just for fun, to have some fun spending money or what have you, and just became too much, especially considering that I'm having to do all of the mom things with my husband not being here during the week. So the gift to take this time and to be able to focus on this aspect, especially considering that it was just in time to get started on our coursework.
Of course it was. I'm
Perfection.
like,
Um, I saw the timing in that and I was like, I didn't even realize until after the fact, just lining up, things are lining up and
"Mom."
amazing. So I'm glad to have the time to and the opportunity to sit in this and absorb it and be a part.
Yeah, I love this. Okay, so first of all, I just have to say also, aside from being like trucker wife, also retired army wife.
Yes.
Yes. That is not a small feat, not a small feat at all. Whether they are home or they are deployed, it's not easy. So, yeah. So we bow down. I'm like, we're 18 years. I'm like, we're
My one thing is just make sure you sign up for all the insurances you need. We are finding out we apparently missed the box to check for dental, and I have a kid in braces, so we're
uh, Good to know. Yeah, I'll be like hitting you up because this is something we're thinking about. But we still have
Totally here
like
for it.
3.5 years, so it'll be fun. Okay, so also I love your reframe on language. I would love to have you share like how you got into Reiki by accident and the shifts that you have because you're like I even thought you paused to use a different way of saying things, which is actually really powerful. So if you want to share about that, that would be so fun.
So, absolutely. I got to know Kristen absolutely by accident. We had a mutual friend on Facebook, someone that I used to work with way, way back when I lived in Washington. It feels like forever ago. And was just like kind of clicking through stories, checking things out. And you happened to have a poll up on your story that day, something that would connect to you directly. And I just so happened to where I was clicking my screen happened to be a button for the poll. And I clicked the button on accident, and Kristen got in touch with me through that button click, and just kind of the story has written itself. We connected. It was an amazing connection from the jump. I felt seen. I felt heard, and and by the powers that be, felt the most amazingness from Kristen, the sincerity, the absolute understanding and care.
You already
And
make me
I
cry.
was I'm hooked on Kristen and her amazingness.
You're amazing, man.
And so that by accident button led to me having the ability to dig deeper and find my worth as a person, as myself, as a mom, as a healer, as a wife, as so many things, because we wear so many hats. But most importantly, finding self-worth in just being me.
Don't. Oh,
And yeah,
ah, just yes. I just think about your journey and where you've come and like going from someone that was really struggling with taking on everybody's energy and being like the yes ma'am and
yes.
yes and to now or like even the opportunity to be like boundaries at work to say, you know what, no, and walk away, like, drawing boundaries with family. Even we have to talk about spirituality in itself too, and your conjunction with your higher power, which I know, like, gets a lot of, like, quote, "stigma" in the spiritual community, but I think that it's unspoken. And, like, even bridging the gap between God and spirituality in the realm that we typically see it as healers, and you coming out of the healer closet with your family, like, yes, Erica is, like, blowing my mind, literally.
Oh yes, I was definitely in hiding from myself, hiding from all of the things. I I am a Christian. I go to church. I was raised in the church. I've had the I don't want to say luck because I don't feel like it was luck, but I was raised in more of an open-minded
Mm,
church. So while my mother was raised Catholic, so it makes it a little harder
mm,
for us. I was raised in a more open-minded church, and had have had contact in the past with people that were healers, uh, healing hands, healing touch sort of thing. So having kind of that in my past, knowing that like our preacher's wife did healing hands when I was in high school,
mm.
and she did a lot of work with me in that. And then coming into contact with you later on in life and kind of reintroducing that to me in a different way with Reiki and the amazing healing that it had for me, like you said, finding a way to set my boundaries, finding a way to become confident in who I am has just been amazing. I oftentimes struggle with imposter syndrome and am sometimes afraid to start the conversation or say the words because what if they ask the question I don't know the answer to? And this is something that you and I have dug into quite often.
Yeah.
Um, and just being confident enough to say, it just is who I am and this is what I do. And I will find any answer for you that I can, or we can dig in together and figure it out. But this is where it's at. I was very open with my parents from the beginning about learning Reiki and doing the things and opening myself up more to what skills or abilities I may or may not have. And I was afraid of how they were going to take it because, like I said, my mom was raised Catholic, but they were proud of me and they stood behind me. And even at the time, the preacher in our church, he worked in hospice and in hospital care, and he said there's a lot of Reiki that goes on in those times. We bring people in for those sort of things, and it's amazing, and I
Mm.
fully believe in the power of that. And even in as much as me walking into church one day and him saying, "Oh my goodness," like I had to double take at you. You are walking in with such strength and ownership of who you are and what you do that it took me a second to realize it was really you walking through the door. Like you're a whole new person. And that makes a world of difference when others notice that you owning you
Yeah.
makes that difference, which was amazing. And then I I post it online, I put it out there, I do group sessions from time to time. Every now and then I'll throw up a tarot reading, but I've never really said a whole lot about anything else other than the Reiki or the tarot that I do until I had my grandfather recently passed. And going through that time, I told my mom I had a cousin that passed away years ago, and I said, "Mom, I feel him. He's here. I feel like that time is coming close." And one day, I don't know how, I don't necessarily know how it works because I know but I saw my grandfather's mother, a woman whom I've never met, and she said, it's gonna be okay. I'm here.
Mhm.
It's okay." And I talked to my mom about that, and I was like, "Look, I'm having this conversation with you and dad and Mel in here with granddad, sitting over him with him so that he knew that we were aware that he had his people
Mhm.
there to receive." And then even in so much as seeing a sibling of his that passed away when that sibling was 9 years old, I had nothing. I didn't know who that was. Saw a picture, that was him. I saw a picture of my grandfather's mom, great grandma Olive. That is
Mhm.
exactly who I saw in my mind's eye. Well, I told my parents, I told my sister, we had that private moment with granddad, and my mother went out there, and I told my sister, "Oh my God, she's spreading my business like butter on toast." She started telling everybody. She went to my Aunt Brenda and told her, "Hey, look, Erica feels Casey around us. She knows he's here." But started telling her about that. Then went to my grandmama.
Mhm.
Erica feels great grandma Olive. All of these, and I was like, "Mom, stop! Oh my God, I'm not ready for that." So while I was willing to step out of my closet and be a part of this, my mother literally shoved me forward.
Mhm. She was like, "Excuse me, we're not waiting. This is my mother."
She tiptoeing out. No, no, we don't do that all. We're going free. Let's do this. So I had a very serious conversation with grandmama that night and my mom and some of her siblings and just the things that I had felt around with granddad and allowing them to hopefully have comfort and peace. So just
Ugh,
coming into touch with these new pieces and parts.
yeah. Yeah, it's a piece of you that your human soul did never really know existed, but your soul is like, "Oh, PS," and then your mom is like, "Psh, girl, we're going now. We're not waiting."
Think she's no, we need this now. Let's go. Let's do
Oh
this.
my god. Oh my god. That's so funny. And I like what you said about you're a preacher with knowing, like seeing your shift is so potent. Like there's one thing to know that you've shifted. It's another thing to like have others. in your circle notice too?
Yeah, that I think was the biggest step for me in realizing that this really was my path. This really was my journey. That not only did I see and feel the difference, those around me that knew me, those around me that watched me kind of grow and encompass all of this into who I am and what I put forward, saw it
Yeah.
as well. It was really big.
Yeah, I mean, oh, good. Something that keeps popping in that I just need to bring up is I want to say it was in not early, late 2021 or maybe super early 2022. And I don't think it was you. I think it was someone else that asked if I believe in God, can I even do this? And I was like, I know the big person to ask for. Knock, knock. Erica, what do you have to say? So if somebody says, if I believe in God, or if I believe in God, am I even capable of tapping into these gifts that I'm experiencing? My interest in Oracle or Tarot, in Reiki, what would you say to them?
Absolutely. 100% yes. Don't fear it. Don't and abilities because he knew that it was needed, it would be needed, and he set us on these paths that we're on for a purpose. God is omniscient, all powerful. We're made in his image. To be made in God's image and not feel like we have the capacity to be more. I don't see that being a thing. I feel like we're given this opportunity and we just have to step up and take it. And I I have my faith. I've held on to my faith. I believe in that. And I stand firm in it. And it's like you said, there is a stigma in this about all of that. And saw arguments last night going crazy on Facebook. I had to get off Facebook because it was kind of breaking me a little bit. Like there's so many arguments about how you can be a Christian witch or how you can believe in that and still have this. And to me, it's just about being open minded. I but
That is exactly what I keep hearing about you. I've heard it probably 3 or 4 times. I'm getting smoked out by this thing. Sorry. Yeah. I'm like, "Why do I do this to myself?" I'm
but
Yeah.
you just have to be open minded and probably going to piss people off, but the Bible is a book. It has stories. It has guidance. God didn't write the Bible. I believe in God. And I believe that if this wasn't the path that I was supposed to take, if this wasn't something that I was supposed to do and be a part of, I wouldn't be able to do. I wouldn't feel it. I wouldn't sense it. I wouldn't know it. He's put that in me.
Ah, so beautiful. And I think too, this is what I love so much about our community is like we're so open-minded. Everybody's so open-minded. It's really about like I say this all the time, God, source, universe, whoever your higher power is, because there are healers that are like, "Yeah, I believe in God. Oh my God, finally." And I'm like, "I love that for you. I love it for you, whatever it is." And I know that's not everybody's path. And I always like, it's always from a space of love because I do know that some people do have religion trauma and
Absolutely.
and that's really like I can't even begin to imagine some of the depths that hurt has brought. And also it's like such a beautiful space, like a healing space to be in with there's such an open-mindedness, love and connection and support.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
And I feel like that is what our community really is more about. It's not, like you said,
Mhm.
God, source, universe, angels, loved ones, spirit guides,
Mhm.
whatever your source, whatever your belief. I believe in God. I also believe that I have angels and loved ones and guides. All of that's necessary, I think, to make sense of
Yeah,
some of the
entourage, like,
Please bring in the entourage because I know all that. I get it.
literally.
But just being like our our community, it if I believe that I'm magical, if I believe that I can call on spirits, or if I believe that I can do this spell work, or if I like, I'm open minded enough to believe in all of that.
Yeah.
So I can be open minded enough to believe in this piece too. Open minded enough for all of
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
accepting of anyone else's belief system to get them to where they are.
Yeah. Oh, this is so good. Okay, there's another question that's coming in, and I don't know why this is coming in so much, but I have to share this. The other day, I asked Matt, when people ask what I do, what is it that you tell them? Do you like tell them like I do, or what is it that you're saying? He's like, no, I tell them. I was like, do you get the same looks that I do? Like they're like almost sorry that they asked. And he's like, yep. And I'm like, that is great. I love you for that. So now that you are where you are in your journey, do you feel more confident in sharing? Like, yes, I do believe in God, and yes, I'm a healer, and this is what I do.
I do feel more confident in that. I am not, like I said, I got off Facebook last night
Yeah.
because it got to be too much. But and everyone's gonna have their frame of mind, their mindset, what they think, what they feel, what they believe, what they know to be true to themselves. And that's fine. I'm not gonna fight you on it. That's your belief system, and this is
Mhm.
and I have gotten more confident in it, in responding with that, saying absolutely yes, I believe in God. I have my faith, and I work in energy. And energy
Yeah.
is everywhere. I
Mhm.
am a healer, and I know that this is my place. Um, I think the funniest response I've ever gotten when I said that I did quantum Reiki and it was energy work, the person that I said that to was like, is there like a machine? Is it a box?
I mean,
Haven't found one. But if you do, let me know.
sometimes I'm just like, wait,
What?
what? Yeah.
Where did that come from? Okay.
Let me educate you. Pull up a chair.
Right. Let's have a conversation. Energy is in all the things.
Yes. Oh my gosh. When I was out, every so often in the MTI spouses. So for anybody that's not familiar, Matt is an MTI military training instructor for for the Air Force. Basically, he trains the trainees that come in, so into the Air Force that are enlisted. So I was at an MTI spouse dinner, and I was sitting across from one of the spouses, whatever. And he's like, "So what do you do?" And so I told him. Immediately, everyone around me shifted the conversation. Everyone, they kind of like shifted in their seat, and then they just moved to the like awkwardly moved to a different conversation, like, oh, and then like it was great. It was great because it's like it puts you in your power, and it's like it it's it puts you as the observer. It's like your belief is
Have you ever noticed though those things happen like when you start talking about what you do and everybody kind of like you said shifts the conversation, changes things, and kind of like they're like, okay, we're going to talk over here for a minute. But then if you notice everyone in the room kind of still, while they're turning away, not having that conversation, they're like leaning into you still. Like, however, this space still feels good. I'm going to sit over here a little closer. Like, I find that a lot. Like, people are like, oh, okay, that's okay. I'm going to, but then they still find like they gravitate still closer.
yeah, yeah.
We're still going to stay in your energy and in your space because it feels good.
Mhm.
We don't want to know why.
Oh my God, it's so great. I love that so much. Okay, so when I reached out, actually, I didn't even have to reach out to you about Quantum Illumination Reiki. Erica, you were banging down my effing door for, I don't know, a couple of years almost. You were like, "Hey, excuse me." As soon as I mentioned it, you're like, "Can I sign up now?" And I'm like, You were the first to sign up in our certification program. Like when I say you were ready, there was no conversation. You're like,
Right.
like, here, send me the link. I'm in. And you're like, I was like, here's level one. And you're like, more? You're like level two. And I was like, I didn't have level three yet. I do now. So whenever you're ready for that, you know it's there.
I'm
But
in.
like, yeah, I'm like, I got level one and two. You're like, yes, I'm in. Let's go. And I'm like, we don't know when we're starting. You're like, I don't know. I'm in.
I told my husband, and I know I told you this. I told my husband, I said, I do not care when it happens. I do not care where it happens. When she puts this up and sets that forward, I am signing up. I will bankrupt a credit card. I will do whatever it takes. I am in. I am in 100%. I am there. And we were on vacation with my family. Family reunion when you said it's going live. And I was like, oh, click. I knew this was going to happen.
You know, that is so great. I love that so much. And like, that's the energy we love to be in, right? Where it's like this deep knowing. Cause I'm like that too. If there's something I'm in, I'm in.
Yes.
And so I'm like, take my credit card. I don't give a shit. I'll figure out how to do it. Like it's fun.
Yeah.
So
100%.
what about quantum illumination that you were like, yeah, I'm in?
I have, I honestly, it's, and we're not going to make each other cry. It's about the sincerity that I feel from you constantly. You are always so pure in what you put forward. You are you. You are just Kristen, and you give that to those of us that are in your space. That the space to be just as confident and comfortable in who we are and what we have. I fully believe that anything that is brought forward with that much sincerity, that much purity is I want to be a part of it. I want to be in it. I want to participate. I want to feel that. I want to gift that. I want to have the opportunity to be just as giving to somebody with that much purity and that much sincerity and that much open-mindedness and truth.
Well, Erica, excuse me while I just go cry.
Well, and I felt the power of what you do and what you have to offer. And I healed huge, and that's something that we've discussed at great length. I was not always confident. I did not always feel worthy. I did not always feel like I could participate and be a part, and certainly allowed the imposter syndrome to win, and not anymore. I set my boundaries. I keep my boundaries
Wow.
a lot better than it used to be. And I want to offer that to those in need like I was.
Mm. I'm so excited for you to share this with the world. Oh my God. Normally I ask like, was there any like sliver of doubt, but I'm gonna just skip that.
We already know the answer.
We already know the answer to that. And I know that you have experienced other forms and styles of Reiki, other healers and such. What do you find is different about quantum illumination Reiki?
I, the aspect of it that I feel like is the biggest difference is being able to do the distance healing, being able to offer it to someone who doesn't have to sit next to me, be in the same space as me, just has to be open to accepting and allowing for the energy to come to them. I love that I can offer it up freely. I don't feel like I'm taking away from myself to be able to do this. And I know the energy workers that I have worked with in the past or that I have known in the past always have to take time to rejuvenate or prepare for so much time prior to their session. And knowing that it doesn't take away from me, I'm actually, and this is learned from how you have taught us all along that by healing others, I am also healing myself. So instead
Yeah.
of taking away from, I am also giving to myself.
Oh my gosh. I had somebody ask me, actually, it was my mentor when we were in Tulum. She was like, what do you do to prepare for a session for someone? I was like, sometimes I'm like, I'll ground before and after. Other times I'm like literally running into my room, setting up things, and I'm not frantic, but I'm just like, I don't have any concept of time. And I'm like, it's neither here nor there. Everything gets to be exactly what it is. And it's okay because I we are co-creating with the healing frequencies. We're not channeling as the vessel and giving of ourselves. And that is a very vast different energy to
Yes,
be and play with.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
like you said, I love that it becomes what it needs to be. I can go into a healing session with a plan
Hmm.
and get started and be like, you know what, let's go this way instead. I'm
Yes.
being called over here as opposed to here.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because it's like, we'll have our clients fill out the forms prior to the session. We'll learn about what their needs and desires are and what it is that they want from the session. However, the healing frequencies will always guide you. They will always guide you as like a friend. They're like, actually, this is needed more, right? For anyone that's watching the live or watching the replay and has not committed yet, or they've been thinking about joining our certification program, what would you say to them?
Oh my goodness. Uh, I don't even know. I just, um, no, I've talked a really lot today. I've said so much.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
the sentence. Like, what are you doing to get in?
I just say the only thing that comes to mind is if you feel it, if if it's come across your mind, if it's something that you've thought about and you really feel it, don't be scared. Just do it. Just take the step. Take a step and let it
Yeah.
happen.
And yes, I love this. I love this because you're right. You have said so much throughout this, and it's just like, what else is there more to say? There's like, that's it. That's the sentence. Yes. Oh my God.
And don't
Is there
be
any
afraid to be who you are. Period.
Mm, period. The end. Mic drop. Thanks for coming to our TED Talk. Any final thoughts that you would love to leave anyone with about anything? Anything we didn't cover, anything coming through for you?
Mm. And really just be comfortable and confident in who you are and allow yourself to be in the space
Oh my God.
that you're supposed to be in. Like that
Um,
sounds so yeah, some of the things I say. You're where you're supposed to be and be confident in that. Just know it.
yes. Someone that I really admire, her name is Andrea. She she says this, and I think it's a quote from her dad, and I hope I'm not botching it, but he says, "Make peace with the conditions that you're in and then improve upon them." And I'm like,
Yes.
Andrea Crowder is bad. So if you guys aren't following her, I'll just like name drop her. You guys can follow her because that's not my quote. That's not me. But yeah, make
Well, and that's very similar to what I told my son this morning. He was having such a tough start today.
well,
And we all kind of, you get to the place where you're like, oh, I just don't like myself right now. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I could do better. I could shine. I could whatever. And I told him, I said, son, life lessons don't ever stop. There's always something that we can learn. I said, but learning that lesson is not about what you did to get there. Learning that lesson is what you take away and what you do now. Yes. Grow with it. Don't sit in it. Don't wallow in it. Accept that, yes, I made a mistake and that's tough. And now I'm what? Embarrassed. Now my feelings are hurt. And that's okay. You're allowed to feel those things. You do with it after.
Oh my gosh. You know, I got this visual as you were saying this. That was such beautiful advice for like a child and for any human on planet Earth, right? It's the visual I got was a tree. It looks like it's not growing, but that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, I remember when we were stationed in South Dakota, I would meditate in my Zindan, and I remember watching that tree become massive over the years. It looks like watching paint dry. It looks like nothing's happening, but that is growth. It might look like nothing's happening, but when you're moving, something is changing.
Yes. Yes.
We're gonna put that on a t-shirt or something. Oh my gosh, this has been so much fun. I love that you're outside in the sunshine and taking a walk right now. Thanks for taking us with you.
Hey,
And
I can sunshine and blue skies. It doesn't get much better.
literally, yes. Where can people, where's the best place for people that they can find you? I'll put this on Sacred Whisper as well. So we'll put it in the show notes. We'll put it in the description too.
I am currently most active on Instagram. I try to make sure that I go across all of my little socials, so Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And now that I am not working full time, there will be more.
More survives. I'm here for it. So I will make sure to link all the places so people can find you, and I'll make you a collaborator on this video too. That way people can just click and go hang out with you too. And yeah, thank you so much for joining. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.
Thank you for first ever live Instagram.
You did amazing. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, amazing. I don't know. It's not, I can't see any comments. So if you guys have commented during this, I apologize. I'm not able to see any of them. I was like, did I do something? I don't know if I did. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. I will put all of Erica's contact information in our show notes, in our description, so you can go hang out with her. If you guys are like, yes, I'm ready to join our Quantum Illumination Reiki Certification program. We actually start today, 3/18 is our first lesson. It's not too late to join. It's not too late to join. If you've been feeling the pull, if you've been feeling the call, if you've been feeling the nudge, if you've been seeing this, if you felt inspired, if you've watched the reels that I've put out or the videos on YouTube or anything of that nature, and you're like, whoa, then now is the time, and take that leap of faith. So sending you guys so much love. DM me Quantum. We also have 3 spots remaining for our Embody retreat to deepen the experience of Quantum Illumination Reiki and deepen the embodiment of the woman and the healer that you are here to be. So you can DM me retreat for information on that as well, and I will send that information your way. That is in July. Otherwise, I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.